this is just not going to happen, and this is going to add more frustration, of course, to people who would like to get an answer as to who's won the state of Georgia, but we're not going to find out tonight.
Right. I understand the largest county in Georgia saying they are suspending the vote count at this hour in Fulton County. Do you know about how many votes that may be? Is it 100,000?
Don't know.
500,000?
I don't know, Nora. Here's the thing. Again, 800,000 registered voters. What percentage of Fulton County turned out in the early voting and in today's turnout? Don't know. It is consequential, of course. This is a very heavily Democratic county. And so for the Biden campaign in particular, this has real importance and resonance. And what we did not hear from the County Board of Elections, how many total votes, the raw number of uncounted votes, that's not clear.
All right, Mark Strassman there in Georgia with that update on why we will not have the full vote count in Georgia. I think it's worth also pausing and saying, presidential historians point out that we did not know the presidential winner for certain before midnight on election nights in 1960, 1968, 1976, 2000, 2004, and 2016. So no one should pretend that anything is different about this year. And of course, this year is a pandemic with a record turnout in terms of so many more votes to count. And that's why we're witnessing what we are tonight in terms of not being able to characterize the race or project a winner. Let's check in with, yes, we want to say.
Just a couple of things on Fulton County. Hillary Clinton won that county by 40 points. That's how Democratic it is. And 438,000 voters in Fulton County in 2016. The total early vote in Fulton County is 447,000. So that was just early vote in Fulton County was larger than the vote in 2016. So that doesn't even count what happened today. So there are a lot of votes in Fulton.
So you're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes.
It looks, yes, I think that's the case. And if you're a Joe Biden supporter, those are votes that you think are coming to your guy.
And Nora, I'm curious to see how you said, listen, don't be alarmed because we haven't had the vote 60, 62, whatever the years were that you named. The difference is the president has seeded the narrative that if we don't have the results tonight, he's going to either take legal action or that the vote is rigged if it doesn't go his way. So it will be interesting to see how he will accept this latest turn of events.
Well, and Gail, his own Homeland Security Department, which has been briefing the press, said that they don't expect to get results tonight, a final word. As to Georgia, they said there is no indication that the problems they're having in a number of different counties were the result of malicious activity. In fact, in Gwinnett County, they had to stop scanning ballots at Delayed County. In two other counties, they had to switch to paper ballots because of issues there. But they're saying that this was not the result of malicious activity. This is the president's Homeland Security Department. So it is interesting to have that on the record, given what you were just pointing out.
It's a supply and demand issue.
Didn't Georgia have a problem with the vote count recently?
They did during the primary.
They brand new voting systems. This is the first time they're using them in this election, which kind of stunned other elections officials that they would go out in this election with new technology.
But yes, they did have significant issues before that they were trying to correct. Which is why they pushed the early vote so much in that state. It seems to have paid off.
We should update everyone. We are expecting to hear soon from former Vice President Joe Biden and his wife live from Wilmington, Delaware. That's coming up, and we'll bring that to you straight ahead. We're going to take a short
COVID has taken the lives of tens of thousands of Americans. Rural areas like this here in Navajo Nation are especially hit hard.
15 to 30% of our Navajo citizens don't have running water.
In any indigenous reservation, there is a shortage of physicians.
Native Americans are amongst the most vulnerable and hardest hit by COVID.
Yeah, the more we lose our elders to COVID-19, the more we lose our language and our way of life.
We need to bring awareness to the attention of Washington, D.C. and the United States citizens that there is a need to focus on the first citizens of this country.
Jeez, I'm like a caveman. I haven't shaved. I haven't had a haircut in
CBSN Los Angeles. Get local news, breaking news for anytime, anywhere.
It's easy to find us, and it's free.
Download the CBS News app on your favorite devices. CBSN Los Angeles, streaming 24/7.
Hopefully that lighting is a little bit better.
CBSN Pittsburgh,
Your neighborhood news, streaming 24/7.
Right now,
Anytime,
I'm
anywhere.
just
Find it on
practicing
KDKA.com and on all your
Minecraft.
favorite devices.
how to perfect it. I hope that none of this falls apart, which is this thing.
In 60
Sure.
years, we went from about 100,000 factory workers to probably about 7,000.
Off in the distance, some factories are still humming. Most of them are just kind of abandoned.
The restaurant industry right now is one of the largest and fastest growing industries in America. And yet it continues to be the absolute lowest paying employer in the United States.
You're doing meeting plans when you get by.
It's literally a
all
slave
apart.
wage. I don't remember growing up like this. My mom
Fell
didn't have to
apart
go
like
through
3 times
things.
already.
It's pretty sad.
Just gotta hit the buttons not too hard.
CBS News projects President Trump has won the state of Wyoming. A large win there in that Western Republican state. Like CBS News is not projecting the winner of the presidential race at this hour. Why? Because a number of the battleground states are still too close to call.
Something like that.
CBS's Jerika Duncan is in Philadelphia and joins us now. Jerika?
That's right. We're here in front of the Pennsylvania Convention Center. We did go inside just for a brief moment. There's a media staging area where we're not able to see those election workers hard at work counting those ballots, but we're told by city officials that they will be counting throughout the night. Now, I can tell you that those city officials, many of them seem very tired right now, as you can imagine. Again, you have people in there that have been there since this morning. My understanding is that they are breaking up some of the shifts, but the reason for all of the ballot counting is because you have more than 2.5 million Pennsylvanians who voted by mail this year. This was the first time this was able to happen because of a law that was passed in 2019 saying you can vote by mail without an excuse. But the question really is who came out on November 3rd and how many people came out to vote. The answers to those questions will provide more answers as to who will actually win Pennsylvania. Something worth noting when we talk about Pennsylvania, obviously Philadelphia is an area that Joe Biden is expected to carry, but there are 67 counties here in Pennsylvania, many of them rural and suburban. Those are the counties to watch. Another thing to note, Governor Tom Wolf telling people that we may not have the results today, but telling people again to maintain their calmness, take a deep breath, and be patient.
Back in like
Jerika
summer,
Duncan, thank you. And some CBS stations will be leaving us for local election returns.
Like
The
3
rest
weeks
of you,
ago,
our coverage
we're doing it
continues. You're
straight
watching
for
CBS
30
News
minutes,
2020,
every
America
day.
Decides.
So I just need to perfect my craft. That's all it is.
CBS 2020. All right, and now let's bring in Major Garrett and Ed O'Keefe with the state of the race.
Nora, thank you so very much. Welcome back to the board. And just to clarify, this is Anthony Salvanto's board, but I have negotiated a timeshare arrangement so I can have occasional occupancy. And I brought Ed O'Keefe with me here. So Ed, again, we always start with the map as it existed in 2016, right? Walk me through some scenarios. I will do the punching and we will show how the electoral vote map changes for each new request. If you're a Biden fan tonight, you're probably shaking in your boots wondering, wait a second, this isn't going quite as we expected. Let's set Florida aside for the present, leave it red. Leave it red. But let's give Biden, hypothetically, Pennsylvania. Let's put that into the Biden campaign. Okay. So give him Michigan and Wisconsin. Well, there you have it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. But Pennsylvania, we know we're not going to go back to exactly. So the other way to do it, let's give Biden Vice President Arizona.
Let's see this one in the election.
Likely that way. Okay, so we almost get there.
Frustrated.
We almost get there. Yes, exactly. We get to
Just
somebody
this-
winning.
Like
So
time I
really,
use
in
my
essence,
phone
then,
just to see what's going on.
we're
Wow,
left wondering
Biden
about
is up
Pennsylvania,
ahead.
which is
Okay,
Jerika just told us. Could be a few days.
Just
Could be a
back
few
to
days.
the-
And what is troublesome for the Biden campaign is they were hoping for some breakout here. And maybe even Ohio or maybe Iowa. Those things don't appear to be manifesting. And that weakens this set of scenarios. I don't even like to call them paths because paths sound like we're trying to lead them somewhere. These are scenarios for the campaign to work out. And the scenarios now, hold Arizona, don't give up Nevada. Make sure you hold on to that. The Trump campaign is still holding out some hope. If you trade Nevada and Arizona, then the map becomes more complicated for the former vice president. And then Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania loom incredibly large.
And given the outstanding totals in Georgia, there's still a chance that one could go below.
Yes, I think for right now, for the purposes of this scenario and any of our conversations for the next, well, until dawn at least, because they've stopped counting in Fulton County, we've got to keep Georgia in the top subcategory. So no one is there yet, because clearly Biden hasn't won Michigan, he hasn't won Wisconsin. We have a map that looks much more like that. It is.
But the whole point that the Biden campaign was making early in the night, one thing they were rooting for was the idea that they would win something in the Southeast to try to make some sense of a win more inevitable. And instead it's over.
And let's just get down to brass tacks. And polls that indicated that the former vice president was leading Trump by 10 or 12 points are not being reflected in this map tonight. They just simply are not.
And to the credit of the guys behind us, we never
said that, but there were polls out there that said, I know Trump voters are sitting there watching this and saying, what, come on, guys, at least acknowledge that there's something else going on tonight that is different than some of the polls out there. And that's one of the factors, again, with the Trump effect, that whatever the polls are, there is something beneath them that is more pro-Trump than the polls indicate or can be found. About 30 seconds.
in Florida.
Yeah.
Dive into Miami.
Well, that I can't do because that is handing myself onto. My contract for this timeshare does not allow me to go county by county. I can only go state by state. Negotiate that next time. And okay, I was going to have you with us. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back because this continues. Coverage all night. You're watching CBS News 2020. America decides.
Weird too. I'm not sure.
The biggest names in politics.
Well, that's news. Do you think that the president has the authority to send in active duty troops?
These are the questions you want answered.
Did the CDC let the American people down? Tell me about the decision. When was it made? Who made it? What is the next area that you are concerned about? What does that mean for the risk of reinfection here in the United States?
You bring up a very
Share hurts my back. Once I realized
Face the
this
nation
now.
with Margaret Brennan on CBS.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Right now.
We got something crazy.
Oh.
And reach for the stars.
Here we are.
Yes, it's my job.
Hey, this is pretty fun.
Experience thought provoking. Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
All right, time to go back to the tutorial. Progress.
Welcome back to CBS News Election Headquarters in Times Square. It's coming up 12:30 Wednesday morning in the East, 9:30 Tuesday night in the West, and we are standing by to hear from the former Vice President Joe Biden outside of the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware. We're expecting to hear him call for patience from the American people because it is very clear at this hour, and with so many votes still outstanding in the three key battleground states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and with voting stopped in one of the largest counties in Georgia, we are not going to be able to project a winner tonight. And this was a scenario that the Biden campaign was hoping wouldn't happen tonight.
Wouldn't happen, but totally, prepared for it, as did the Trump campaign.
Yep.
Like we said, they were hoping for some kind of early victory in the Southeast that would give them a signal that the president's opportunity to get back to 270 would be more difficult. But we're holding out.
Who would have thought plumbing issues in Georgia, for example, are holding up the vote there? We're waiting on one or two key counties in North Carolina. And then, of course, just the crush of absentee mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania slowing things down there as well. So if he calls for patience and is encouraged by what he's seeing in Arizona and Georgia, there's still a chance. It just may not happen tonight.
It's not just the plumbing in Fulton County in Georgia. I mean, DeKalb is 31% of the vote is in. There are a number of stronghold Democratic counties in Georgia that are very, very slow in counting, which means that the Biden vote has not come in yet from the counting.
But we've been saying this for a while, that no one will be surprised if we're sitting here at this particular time, not knowing how this is going to turn out. So all is going according to plan, John.
Well, it seems like two things are happening. One, President Trump is doing better than a lot of the pre-election polling showed. And then you've got these hiccups like whatever's happening in Georgia, adding another flavor to why it may take a little bit longer.
Which has been a staple of the Trump campaign. You cannot believe the polls.
And
they've been saying that since 2016, and it seems that maybe that might bear out tonight with some of the advantages that some of the gains that they've made tonight.
It's worth noting that we always expect to have an indication of the direction, but technically, you don't really have to have a certified election until well into December.
Right.
So gear up for some litigation here.
But I hope we're not still sitting here the 5 of us in December, right? Nothing personal. You got other things to do.
And I bathed. I bathed.
You know, we should, because we are expecting any moment now to hear from the Bidens. Let's go to Joe Biden headquarters. Nicole Killian standing by there in Wilmington, Delaware. And Nicole, tell me what you're hearing.
Well, you have seen more supporters start to file in, and there is a mix of confidence but also nervousness here. And as you mentioned, we do expect the former vice president to urge patience tonight with the vote count. And I do want to emphasize that this is a scenario that the campaign has put out there. You know, I talked to one top campaign official who cautioned that this could be election week, not necessarily election night. The campaign has also stressed that they know states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania could take longer to count it. They were prepared for that. A top Democratic official in Michigan telling me tonight they're still confident that Joe Biden can win Michigan.
It may not be decisive, but they do expect him
to pull out that win. It's just a matter of waiting for the vote count, according to this official. And so keep in mind that with all that being said, certainly, as you have referenced, the campaign ideally wanted to set the tone tonight. If states like North Carolina, Florida, Georgia possibly broke their way. Obviously, there's still some uncertainty there with some of those races. But, you know, by and large, I also want to point out that the campaign had this strategy of 17 battleground states that they were targeting, states they wanted to protect, states they wanted to win back, and states they wanted to expand. And for that reason, that was a way that they could kind of play around and carve out a variety of different paths to 270. So again, while there is still a sense of confidence here tonight, also a sense of caution. And that's really what the campaign has kind of been telling us all along.
All right, Nicole Killian there in Wilmington, Delaware. And as soon as the former vice president takes the stage, we will bring that to you live. We had also heard that we might hear from the president, Donald Trump, at some point tonight, or now I guess we're in the morning. No word yet from the White House on that, but certainly we would bring you any remarks live as well. Want to check in with Major Garrett, who has some new information for us on the exit poll data?
We're not exit polls, Nora. We're going to talk about the vote count, why it will take a little bit of time, and I want to quote both campaigns, Trump and Biden. What is their attitude about voting? Every vote counts in a verified and accurate way. Well, to do that, in a pandemic, you have to respond to a much larger percentage of votes by mail, absentee ballots, which we have a lot of. I want to show you a map of our battleground states that we've identified for this election. And then from that, I'm going to show you the we're going to look back at the camera. Okay. So, we have 13 battleground states, but there are 3 states we've already zeroed in on tonight. And the implications of absentee ballots there will be very large. So, Pennsylvania has 2.5 million absentee ballots that have come in. Not incidentally, 400,000 of them coming into Philadelphia. Wisconsin has 1.9 million absentee ballots. Michigan, 2.8 million. All 3 of these states